So you've got a key employee that's been with you from the start, someone who's been very valuable, really become a close friend in a lot of ways. Your company's grown, they've been with you through those growing pains, through the lean times. Now things are doing well and you're scaling up, but this person starts to play the tyrant. What do you do? More on that coming right up. Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf, and this is our third installment on our book launch Wednesday. Perform Repair is the 30-day race to save a company. This is one of the scenarios and one of the stories that's included in the book. What do you do with someone who's a long-term employee that is now becoming a blocker? They are not only blocking, but beginning to actively work against the changes that you're making in your company so that you can scale up, so that you can survive. How do you deal with that? Now, and we address this in the book and talk about some of the questions that we asked in order to find guidance through that, to create a plan, to be clear on where we wanted to go with the company. Now, remember, there's 180 families dependent on this company staying where it's at and not closing. Now, someone that has been a long-term employee has a lot of sway with a lot of the employees there, has become basically a tyrant. They're saying, not in my department. Oh, we're not doing this. We're doing it my way. Everybody else can do what they want. What do you do? What would you do in a scenario like that with one of your key people? What kind of culture do you want to have in your company? Now, bear in mind, this is a fishbowl activity. As a leader, you live in a fishbowl, right? Everybody's watching what you do, the decisions you make, how you handle your close managers, the people that report directly to you, and particularly how you respond to people that have been around for a long time because they see their future in that, right? Wouldn't you? So, what do you do with a person like that? We had a lot of hand-wringing moments, deep diving into questions about what message do we want to send? How do we want people to really be on board with the changes that we're making, which required a lot of work, instituted a lot of fear. These people were walking through a lot of fear because we were radically altering how they were doing their jobs and doing it in a way that productivity was leaping. We're talking massive gains in very short periods of time. Half the workforce wouldn't be necessary at the current sales volume. So think about the fear that causes. And they understand that the survival of everybody's jobs is on the line while doing this. Yet here's this one person. So do you publicly fire them? What message does that send? What kind of culture is that? Is that a message of, hey, you know what? When you work here and put in years and years, this is someone 15, 20 years of service, good times, bad times, hard decisions, and boom, they're fired. Does that send a message that, hey, you know what? We'll use you until we're done with you and then kick you to the curb? How committed of a team will you have if that's the message that's received? How do you proceed in a way that creates a message that's consistent with what you want? Do you want an environment where people are looking at it going, you know what? As long as I'm acting in the best interest of the company, as long as I've got that in my heart, even if I'm at odds with leadership, it's still good. You know, they'll still have my back. I still have a place here. Or if things pass you by and you're no longer technically capable in a certain area, that there will still be a place for you. Or that, you know what, years of service are honored here. We understand it's about relationships. Therefore, the team will crawl across broken glass for you because they know no matter what, you've got them, right? That they're really part of the team. So, what actions would you take? What message does that send? Is it consistent with the message you really want to send? Now, this is where I recommend, you know what's coming, buy the book because the story's there. What we thought about, what we went through, and then in the behind the scenes chapter, there's one chapter that deals with this. There's a behind the scenes chapter, and in that, there's some insights that I gained later that said, you know what, doing it over again, here's where I was wrong personally in what I recommended and how we move forward based on those recommendations. Given how things played out, given insights that I have today, in terms of what's the right action to send the right message and under what circumstances. So think about those three things. Buy the book, read it, and then bring your questions. I'd love to talk with you about, given that you've got that backdrop, knowing what I know, knowing what's in the book, the story there, plus your experience, we could have a really good conversation about that. I'd be very interested in hearing, what questions would you have asked? How do you think that might have played out differently? What else did we miss that in what's written in the book still isn't covered yet? There's probably some there. There always is. We're always learning more. I hope so. I mean, my grandfather, Edward, was born in 1880s, a 19th century farmer. One of the lessons that he passed down to me was, if you're not learning something new every day, you're dead. 19th century wisdom. Passing that on to you. So buy the book, Perform or Perish. And if you buy it today, not only do you get the book, the bonuses that are included in the back, there's show you how to access that when you read the book on the back pages, but also if you buy the book today, launch day, May 31st, and then read it, you don't have to do I'm not asking you to do a review today. Read it. If not, the Kindle and Amazon know whether or not you read the book. So I'm not asking you to just write a review, but read it, go back and write a review. We'll make sure you get a ticket for a VIP pass to the AI for business leaders that we're doing next month. You'll like that. There's information you won't find anywhere else, but in that, because how many people have you found? The reason I'm doing this is I searched around and I've only found 2 other people that are really looking at the leadership aspect from a running the company perspective. What does this really mean? How do you deal with it? What questions do you need to ask? What perspectives do you need to carry in order to be one of the companies that wins big over the next 2 to 3 years, as opposed to a company that gets run over by the changes in technology and what your competition is doing to leverage it? So buy, Perform or Perish. You get a pass, VIP pass, when you write a review for it on Amazon. Thank you for being part of Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf, and I look forward to seeing you on the trail.